Dr. K. Senthilkumar, Assistant Professor, Department of Physics, Loganatha Narayanaswamy Government College, Ponneri, Chennai. He has done PhD in Material Science at Anna University, Chennai. He has 17 years of teaching experience. He has published 5 articles in national and international conferences and journals. He attended more than 14 conferences and workshops in all over India.
Welcome to UGC lecture series. In this lecture, we are going to see the subject quantum mechanics. Some of the topics in the quantum mechanics we are going to see in this session. First, we will see the objectives of this session, basic postulates of quantum mechanics, operators like energy, momentum and Hamiltonian, then time independent Schrodinger equation for steady state or stationary states. Then finally, let us see properties of wave functions. Basic postulates and formalism. We know that in every subject in physics we will have a postulates. Based on that, postulates means set of rules. Based on that, we will have a theory in every subject. Similarly, we have basic postulates and formulation in quantum mechanics. Postulates are not unknown in physics. They are often serve the basis of physical theories. Though they cannot be proved, one can prove the conclusions derived on the basis of the postulates. The success or failure of postulates depends on strength of the experimental results. There are different ways of stating the basic postulates of quantum mechanics, but the following formulation seems to be satisfactory. Let us see the postulates one by one. Postulate 1, this regards wave function. The state of a system having n degrees of freedom can be completely specified by a wave function psi of coordinates q1, q2, etc. up to qn, and a time t, which is called the wave function or state function or state vector of the system. The wave function psi and its derivatives must be continuous, finite and single valued over the domain of the variables of psi. All possible information about the system can be derived from this wave function. Postulate 2, this is regarding operators. First, we will see what is meant by operator. To every observable physical quantity, there corresponds to a Hermitian operator or matrix. The operators in quantum mechanics are derived from the Poisson bracket of the corresponding pair of classical variables according to the rule. That is, the square bracket capital Q comma R is equal to I h cross into small q comma r. We know h cross equal to h by 2 pi and h is a Planck's constant, where capital Q and capital R are the operators selected for the dynamical variables q and r, and q comma r is the Poisson bracket of q and r. Next postulate, postulate 3, this is regarding expectation value. When a system is in state of described by a wave function psi, the expectation value of any observable A is given by expectation value A is equal to integral minus infinity to plus infinity psi star A psi d tau. Psi is a wave function, psi star is the complex conjugate of wave function, A is the amplitude, where A in the integral of the operator associated with the observable A, that is amplitude A. Postulate 4, this is regarding eigenvalues. The possible values, which is a measurement of an observable whose operator is capital A, can give the eigenvalues A I of the equation. A psi I is equal to small a I psi I, that is I is equal to 1, 2, 3 etc. up to n. The eigen functions psi I form a complete set of n independent functions. Postulate 5, this is regarding time development of a quantum system. Time development of a quantum system can be described by the evolution of state function in time by the time dependent Schrodinger wave equation. Time dependent Schrodinger equation is I h cross dou psi of r comma t divided by dou t is equal to h into psi of r comma t, where h is the Hamiltonian operator of the system which is independent of time. Then we will see some of the operators, namely energy, momentum and Hamiltonian. In quantum mechanics, each measurable parameter in a physical system is known as quantum mechanical operator. Now let us see one by one the following operators. First we will see energy and momentum operator. The development of quantum mechanics is the establishment of the operators associated with the parameters needed to describe the system. Some of those operators are energy, momentum and Hamiltonian. Energy and momentum operator. We know that the kinetic energy of the particle, we know kinetic energy E is equal to half m square, this is usual equation. Now we know the momentum is equal to mass into velocity. So V is equal to p by m. If we substitute V value here, then we get E is equal to px squared by 2m. So px squared here is a linear momentum in x position. The one dimensional time dependent Schrodinger wave equation is given by I h cross dou psi of x comma t divided by dou t is equal to h cross squared by 2m dou squared psi by dou x squared. To obtain the operator for energy and momentum, the above equation may be rewritten as, here we have split up this right hand side term into 2, that is minus h cross squared into dou squared by dou x squared, we have split up 1 by 2m taken as a constant value. So minus I h cross by dou x into minus I h cross by dou x into psi of x comma t. And comparing these two equations, say 1 and 2, it may be concluded that the energy E and momentum P can be considered as the differential operators. So E tends to I h cross by dou t and Px tends to minus I h cross dou x. So this refers to energy operator, this refers to momentum operator. In 3 dimensions, E tends to I h cross dou t and P tends to minus I h cross delta. So what is this delta here? Dou by dou x plus dou by dou y plus dou by dou z. This we call it as Laplacian operator. Next we will see Hamiltonian operator. Consider a system in which the free particle moving with the potential V of x comma t, the total energy of the system is given by, we know the total energy is the sum of the kinetic energy and potential energy. If we can write the equation for that. So total energy is equal to kinetic energy plus potential energy. Potential energy, let it be V of x comma t in the sense the position x and t. So V is a function of x and t. The above equation can be written in terms of operators and multiplying by psi of x comma t on both sides, we get I h cross dou psi of x comma t divided by dou t is equal to minus h cross squared by 2m del squared plus V of x comma t into psi of x comma t. Just we have multiplied psi of x comma t both sides. In the above equation, the quantity in the square bracket is the operator for Hamiltonian of the system. That means within this square bracket term, we call it as Hamiltonian operator. Now let us see the derivation of time independent Schrodinger wave equation for stationary states. Schrodinger wave equation is one of the fundamental equation in quantum mechanics or wave mechanics, in analogy of Newton's equation for classical mechanics. How the Newton equation is important for classical mechanics, similarly we have Schrodinger wave equation is important for quantum mechanics. So, this equation describes the motion of atomic particles like electrons in an atom or metal. Using this equation, one can derive allowed values or eigenvalues of energy of electron, an atom or molecule or metal. This is a matter waves equation, and in this equation the wave aspect of electron is taken into account. The Schrodinger wave equation, like Newton's law of motion, is a fundamental relationship showing the logical coherence to a vast amount of experimental observations. Newton's laws of motion can be applied only to macroscopic systems and events, but the Schrodinger wave equation can be applied both to macroscopic and microscopic systems and events. If we apply this time dependent Schrodinger wave equation for stationary state problems, in which the potential energy of the particle does not depend on the time explicitly and the forces that act on it, and hence the potential V vary with the position of the particle only, not on the time. So, we get simplified time independent Schrodinger wave equation. Let us consider the wave function or complex displacement for a freely moving particle can be written as psi is equal to a into e power minus I by h cross E t minus p x. This is equation number 1. Let us postulate the solution of the form psi of x comma t is equal to psi of x into pi of t. So, here psi of x comma t, this psi is a position of x and t, that is we have t term as well as x term. We split this into two variable, say phi and psi. So, psi in the form of x, phi in the form of t. Psi term we have taken as, so psi of x is equal to a e power I p x by h cross, then pi of t is equal to e power minus I e t by h cross. This how we have got. So, e power minus I by h cross taken inside. So, minus into minus plus I p x. So, a e power plus I p x by h cross is a psi of x, then pi of t the remaining term we have written. Instead of this, we are directly taking this psi of x, then pi of t we are substituting here, we have taken this equation as 3. Now, we have got the equation 3. What we have to do here? We have to differentiate this equation 3 with respect to x twice. Once we differentiate, we get dou psi by dou x, twice we differentiate, we get dou squared psi by dou x squared. Similarly, we have to differentiate this equation 3 with respect to t once, so we get dou psi by dou t. So, we substitute these two values in the one dimensional time dependent Schrodinger wave equation, we get final time independent Schrodinger wave equation. Now, let us see the derivation. So, differentiate equation 3 with respect to x twice. So, if you differentiate once, we get dou psi by dou x. So, that is first order derivative. So, twice we get dou squared psi by dou x squared, this is second order derivative, that is equal to e power minus I e t by h cross d squared psi of x dx squared. Now, differentiate equation 3 with respect to t once, we get dou psi by dou t is equal to minus I e by h cross e power minus I e t by h cross into psi of x, that is equation number 5. We know that we can write one dimensional time dependent Schrodinger wave equation. So, I h cross dou psi of x comma t by dou t is equal to minus h cross squared by 2m dou squared psi by dou x squared, this is equation number 6. So, if we substitute the equation 4 and 5, that is the value of dou squared psi by dou x squared from equation 4, and dou psi by dou t from equation 5. In equation 6 we get I h cross minus I e by h cross e power minus I e t by h cross psi of x is equal to minus h cross squared by 2 m e power minus I e t by h cross d squared psi by dx squared plus v psi of x into e power minus I e t by h cross. So, if we write dou squared psi by dou x squared, that is partial differentiation. If we write d squared psi by dx squared, that is total differentiation. So, in this equation, this e power minus I e t by h cross is common in all the terms. So, taken outside and eliminated. So, remaining terms we have e psi of x minus v psi of x is equal to minus h cross squared by 2 m d squared psi by dx squared. So, rearranging this equation we get d squared psi by dx squared plus 2 m by h cross squared into e minus v into psi of x is equal to 0. This is equation number 7. In 3 dimensions, the above equation can be written as del squared psi plus 2 m by h cross squared e minus v into psi of x is equal to 0. So, if it is one dimension, here dou squared psi by dou x squared will come. So, psi of x comma t is the wave function for one dimension, whereas psi of x comma y comma z comma t is the wave function for 3 dimensions, where psi is a function of x, y and z. The equations 7 and 8 represent time independent Schrodinger wave equation in 1 dimension and 3 dimensions respectively. An important property of Schrodinger steady state equation is that if it has one or more solutions for a given system, each of these functions corresponds to a specific value of energy. Thus, energy quantization appears in wave mechanics as a natural element of the theory, and energy quantization in physical world is revealed as a universal phenomena characteristic of all stable systems. A familiar and quite close analogy to the manner in which energy quantization occurs in solutions of Schrodinger equation is with standing waves in a stretched string of length capital L that is fixed at both ends. Here, instead of a single wave propagating indefinitely in one direction, waves are travelling in both the directions, say positive x and negative x directions simultaneously. These waves are subject to the condition called a boundary condition that the displacement y always be 0 at both ends of the string. An acceptable function y of x comma t for the displacement with its derivatives except at the ends as psi, and its derivatives are to be continuous, finite and single valued. In this case, y must be real and not complex, as it represents a direct measurable quantity. The only solutions of the wave equation that are in accordance with these various limitations are those in which the wavelengths are given by lambda n is equal to 2L by n plus 1, where this n is equal to 0, 1, 2, 3 etc. Figure shows that it is the combination of the wave functions, wave equations and the restrictions placed on the nature of its solution that leads us to conclude that y of x comma t can exist only for certain wavelengths. So, this is the standard equation. We have a lambda, the wavelength is equal to 2L by n plus 1. If we substitute n is equal to 0, 1, 2, 3, we get these following waves. How we will see. If n is equal to 0, then 2L by 0 plus 1, 0 plus 1 is 1. So, 2L by 1 is 2L. So, we get this wave function. Then similarly, we get n is equal to 1. So, 2L by 2, 2 by 2 gets cancelled, we get L. So, similarly, if we substitute other values of n, we get the following n equations. So, in between the n's we have stretched string with the wave function for with the wavelength lambda is equal to 2L by n plus 1. Next, we will see eigenvalues and eigenfunctions corresponding to this time independent Schrodinger wave equation what we have derived now. So, the energy value at which the Schrodinger wave equation is solved, that is called eigenvalues. The corresponding wave function is called eigenfunctions. Now, let us see these eigenvalue and eigenfunctions for our Schrodinger time independent wave equation. Eigenvalues, eigenfunctions. The values of energy E n for which Schrodinger steady state equation can be solved are called eigenvalues, and the corresponding wave functions psi are called eigenfunctions. We should know how this term eigen, these terms come from the German letter, the German word eigenwert, meaning eigenwert meaning proper or characteristic value. This corresponds to eigenvalue, and eigenfunction proper or characteristic function, this corresponds to our eigenfunction, then eigenvalues. The discrete energy levels of the hydrogen atom. Suppose if we apply this time independent Schrodinger wave equation for hydrogen atom, what is the final values of the hydrogen atom we get, that is E n is equal to minus m e power 4 divided by 32 pi squared epsilon naught h cross squared into 1 by n squared, where n is equal to 1, 2, 3 or an example of set of eigenvalues. So, this eigenvalue equation we derive in the succeeding sessions. An important example of dynamic variable other than total energy that is found to be quantized in stable systems is angular momentum L. In the case of the hydrogen atom, we shall find that eigenvalues of a magnitude of the total angular momentum are specified by the equation. Capital L is a total angular momentum is equal to square root of L into L plus 1 into h cross, where L is equal to 0, 1, 2, 3 up to n minus 1. Of course, a dynamical variable g may not be quantized. In this case, measurements of g made on a number of identical systems will not yield a unique result, but instead a spread of values whose average is the expectation value. Now, we can write the equation for expectation value, that is expectation value of g is equal to integral minus infinity to plus infinity g modulus psi squared dx. In the hydrogen atom, the electron's position is not quantized, so that we must think of the electron as being present in the vicinity of the nucleus within a certain probability per unit volume, but with no predictable positions or even orbit in the classical sense. This probabilistic statement does not conflict with the fact that experiments performed on hydrogen atoms always show that each one contains a whole electron, not 27% of electron in a certain region and 73% elsewhere. The probability is one of finding the electron, and although also this probability is smeared out in space, the electron itself is not. Again, let us see the operators and eigenvalues, that is eigenvalues regarding the operators in the Schrodinger time dependent independent wave equation. The condition that a certain dynamical variable g be restricted to a discrete values g n, in other words that g be quantized, is that the wave function psi n of the system be such that. So, eigen equation g cap psi n is equal to g n psi n, where g cap is the operator that corresponds to g and g n is the real number. When the above equation holds for the wave function of the system, it is a fundamental postulate of quantum mechanics that any measurement of g can only yield one of the values g n. If measurements of g are made on a number of identical systems, all in states described by a particular eigenfunction psi k, each measurement will yield the single value g k. So, Hamiltonian operated H cap is equal to minus h cross squared by 2 m dou squared by dou x squared plus b. This H cap is the Hamiltonian operator and is called the Hamiltonian operator because it is reminiscent of Hamiltonian function in advanced classical mechanics, which is an expression for the total energy of the system in terms of coordinates and momenta only. Evidently, the steady state Schrodinger's equation can be written simply as Schrodinger's equation H cap psi n is equal to E n psi n. So, we can say that various E n are the eigen values of the Hamiltonian operator. This kind of association between eigen values and the quantum mechanical operators is quite general. Let us summarize the topics what we have discussed in this session. The following topics were discussed in this session. First, we have seen postulates in terms of wave functions, eigenvalues, operators, etc. Then we have seen some of the operators, namely energy, momentum and Hamiltonian. Then we have seen derivation of time independent Schrodinger wave equation for stationary states. Now, what are the questions can be asked in this session? That is what we have discussed in this session. What are the postulates of quantum mechanics? Explain the energy and momentum operator. Derive time independent Schrodinger wave equation for stationary states. So, these are all the questions can be asked from this session. Rest of the topics we will see in the next session. Thank you.